Welcome, everyone. This is Coffee with the Founder, where we talk about what it's like to be a venture backed founder and why people are doing this crazy game. Because you got to be a little nutso to be able to do it. Takes one to know one, as we know. With us today is Surojit Chatterjee. He's the founder and CEO of Emma Unlimited. We're going to go into quite a conversation about all the things related to AI powered agents and how we're automating tasks in HR specifically, which is a task oriented arena for a lot of folks, alongside the data management that comes with it. So, first off, welcome.
Thank you. Super
Surgeon.
excited to be here.
I love it and I love the attitude. Okay. So with Emma Unlimited, if I may say, you've been doing that about almost 2.5+ years. You're up in SF, which, by the way, let me turn off my dang fan. Is going on blast. It's going on blast. What's Emma Unlimited focused on
Yeah,
as it relates to universal AI employee?
right. So, first of all, I really like what you said. This is a founder's job is quite crazy.
Yeah.
You have to be nuts to be a founder. But let me
Yes.
talk about Emma real quick.
Yes.
We started with building an universal AI employee. What it means is it can take any form in the enterprise, take any role, and automate it, which is a big vision, very big vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we built is a agentic framework. It's a horizontal agentic framework, hundreds of agents, our own orchestration layer, in fact, our own model, small language model that actually straddles over every model out there, to enable our partners, our developers, and our own solution engineers or forward deployed engineers to build agentic automation solutions for any customer. And today we are deployed in very large enterprises, Fortune 500 enterprises, focusing on HR, finance, customer support,
Mm-hmm.
sales and marketing. So those are the four different areas where we have
Mm-hmm.
deployed AI employees. An AI employee is not just replacing one human or doing job of one human. Think of this as a team of humans. It actually can connect to any of your applications, any data. You can interact with it like
Mm.
you interact with humans. You can just give natural language instruction. It follows that. It can basically automate large parts of your business, like hire to retire process, or procure to pay. Insurance companies using us for like
Mm.
claims processing, all
Yes, you
kinds.
do have insurance, fintech, you got healthcare. There's a lot in healthcare that needs help. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you could, Surgeet, because we all know there's a lot going on with AI agents and what exactly they do, and you've also raised a couple $1,000,000 to make this stuff happen. So no shy of the capital in order to do this. Can you give us an example specifically? You don't have to name the client, but what's an example?
Yeah, I can name some clients. For
Okay.
example, will be like Hitachi is a great example.
Okay.
Is a global conglomerate. They have 600 companies within their umbrella, and they're trying to do is consolidate the back office for say, HR, back office for finance, and so on. They came to us a few months back saying, "Hey, we're trying to consolidate HR operations. Think of instead of human roles in HR, you have AI agents fielding all kinds of requests. Right? Oh, I need a visa letter, or I need a
Mm.
employment verification. I am changing my address. What do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
I file for a vacation, or I want to go on a sabbatical for some time. So it's not just answering simple questions. It's actually doing complex tasks.
Yeah.
If you change your address, or I want to add a dependent, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
There are some critical information that needs to be updated. You need to typically will talk to some humans. Now imagine that doing that for like 5, 10 different companies within your kind of mother company like Hitachi. So that's what their HR teams was tasked with, right? So today we are fully deployed across, starting with three companies, 40,000 employees in these three companies,
Hmm.
doing kind of 27 or so different use cases across the entire hire to retire process, and we are adding newer actions and newer use cases kind of every weekly basis. What's complex about this is these companies, they are they don't have like the same policies or same processes, not even the same cloud. Some are on Google Cloud, some are on Azure. They have different applications. Some use
Hmm.
Workday and some use like Success Factor, and like variety of applications. HR is also very fragmented,
Oh
which
God, yes, it is.
perfect for like agentic disruption, right? Now their
So
employees.
and let me pause you on that because I think this unlocks a little bit of the agent empire, which is so compelling. I think for investors and a bunch of other folks, you go into large enterprises, even smaller, mid-sized ones, and you're like, oh my God, there is a stack of tools all over the place, not connected necessarily. One does that, one does this. It's not interfacing at all. So that's probably a big solution that you're bringing to the table. Is the interaction between the various things that are out there.
Absolutely. Look, today, large enterprises, it's like a jungle out there. There are hundreds, thousands. In fact, large enterprise like Hitachi or any such companies, they will have thousands of applications, internal
Yes.
applications, sometimes applications they have licensed from others and so on and bought. And those applications don't talk to each other. So humans are acting as glue. They're pulling data from one application, putting it into another application, emailing, sending things, interacting with other employees on Slack or Google Teams, or Google Meet, or
Hmm.
Microsoft Teams, and so on. It's complex, and that's where we come in, where the agentic layer, it's like a layer of action and intelligence, sits on top of your entire application set, all your databases, all your cloud storage, all your documents, your internal intranet, web portal,
Hmm.
internal portals, whatever you want it to touch and learn from. And then it creates a seamless interface for your employees to interact, and it will create impromptu new UI as appropriate. So it's not just chat. So that's
Yeah. Yeah.
another notion. Oh, it's all chatbot. No, it's not chatbot. It actually, it's a new type of,
No, it's not chatbot. That should be the new slogan.
not a chatbot. It's a new type of software that dynamically creates the right UI, that that allows the right level of engagement with the user to interact with any tool and any data sets in your enterprise.
I mean, it sounds too good to be true, but there's a lot of this stuff that sounds too big good to be true. I will emphasize though, we have dealt with some very large enterprise, tech companies. You're like, oh, no problem. Like these are tech companies, right? Oh my gosh, it is disastrous sometimes to get a PO stamped, to
Absolutely.
get an invoice paid. There's like 17 things with seven. So I deeply understand this problem, even though you think, oh, well, you're working with the big tech company, Hitachi. You're working with, no, no. The fallacy I think that so often people like miss, although VCs, of course, know, as we know, is like, oh, the Fortune 1000s are the best people to get in there because the forest is deep, as you're
Absolutely.
saying, with disarray,
Absolutely.
total disarray. So moving to this, why are you doing this? Why are you doing Emma? Because there's a lot of other things you could be doing, Surojit.
Exactly. Why?
What? Why? You were an angel investor, for example. You could just be signing checks, but here you are.
Okay.
You were at Andreessen Horowitz, also.
Yes.
You were a Coinbase. That was probably fun.
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
lot of
Okay.
fun.
Okay. So why this now?
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. Look,
Uh,
my background, I spent 15 years at Google, um,
yes.
building and growing their mobile advertising business, and then Google Shopping. Each business became tens of billions of dollars of business revenue for Google. Mobile ads, more than $100 billion of revenue. So I ran some pretty large, teams, very large businesses at Coinbase. I was chief
Hmm.
product officer, running all of their product and also responsible for their revenue and so on. What I have seen is in each one of these companies, great companies, right? They hire excellent people, tend to mostly, but then more than half or 80% of the time, sometimes of all these people are spent in just keeping the lights on. At Google, we used to call it KTLO, keep the lights on, which means just maintain and manage.
Oh no.
rather than actually building new things, being creative, creating value. So what happens in large companies? You keep hiring more and more people, you keep building, but then more than half of your people are just doing mundane work, right? And think about it. Just what I
Oh
have
yeah.
about like HR,
Oh yeah.
example, finance, anything you can think of. There are tens, hundreds of people, thousands of people just doing mundane work, and
Oh
that
yeah.
bothered me, right? I was like, we hired all these great people. In fact, they also don't want to do this job. This is like the soul crushing part of your job when your manager comes and tells you, oh, can you update this spreadsheet, or can you make sure this is working fine? Can you maintain and manage, and so on? You want to do new work, you want to do creative work, you want to think of
Yes. You want
ideas,
to have purpose.
and
This
grow.
is why so many souls go to die at big enterprises. I'm sorry.
Exactly, right? So how can you
Yeah.
make work, take all these mundane parts of the work away from humans? That's where agents come in. That's why I started this company. Like, no more soul crushing work for anybody. Can we create new type of companies where every individual?
Wait, pause, pause. That should be on the website, on the right on the homepage. No more soul crushing work for humans.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. No more writing reports, updating something, whatever, right? That's
Oh
what you do
God.
all day long in
God.
larger companies. So that's our premise,
Wow.
which is free up humans to do real work. Let AI employees, what we call AI employees, not actually our agents are super agents. They're like multiple agents coming together. We think of them as your peer, as a colleague, but synthetic. Let AI employees do part of your job and help you become like the 10x employee. That's the whole premise.
Gosh. Okay. And also, today I learned key T- key
KTLO.
KTLO. Oof, 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 oof. This is not fun. Not full. That is soul crushing for sure. Okay. So now you've started this. Now here we are. Is it difficult? And I hope other founders hear this because I'm sure. Is it difficult selling this to enterprises? Now you could tell me and give me the PR answer. Oh, we're killing it. We're signing up all these people. Okay, okay. But like, what's the burden or the headache that you run across?
Yeah,
Because there
absolutely.
has to be one. Don't give me some
Yeah,
PR answer.
yes, absolutely. Look,
Yes.
as a startup, as a tiny startup to start with, right? Now we are a little bit bigger. We have like
Yes.
over 100 people, but we started with
Yes.
1 person, 2 people,
Yeah. You.
and so on, right? So how do you even look credible to an enterprise? Why will they buy from you, right?
Yeah.
Big question for in their mind is, are you even going to exist, right? Can you handle my data? Am I going to risk my enterprise most sensitive data by going with a no name startup out there? Is Will I lose my job? Look,
Yes.
like there's saying,
Exactly.
nobody
Exactly.
lost their job in the old days for buying IBM or something, right? So it's the safe option for them always.
Do nothing.
Yeah, do nothing or buy from a known large name. Then you can blame it on them. You can say, oh,
Yep.
it's a large name, Microsoft or
I
whatever.
was just gonna say blame. Yeah.
This is okay. I
Blame
bought,
Fang.
of
Yeah.
course. What do you want me to do? It's their fault.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go and buy from a small company, you are taking a lot of risk on your side, right?
Yeah.
So why would anyone take that risk? So the burden of proof, the burden of proof is with the startup, which is, can I look credible? Can I do the right things to create trust in the mind of my buyer? For example, what we did, we are the probably the most compliant startup out there. We are compliant with everything, SOC to HIPAA,
Mm-hmm.
GDPR, not everything, but most of the things out there. ISO 42001, UAI Act, and most of the common international standards. It's painful, but we did that right out of the gate as soon as possible.
Mm,
Of course, you have to continue to maintain the compliance. Everybody, for
mm,
example, we background check anyone. Just a
mm-hmm.
recently, I mean, normally look, just a digression, maybe we background check and usually nothing bad comes out. I'm like,
Yeah.
do you need to really do this background checks? Just last week, we found someone, this person, everybody gave very high scores. Turns out lots of credit card fraud cases. I'm like, no, not the right person to hire.
No, for your company, for Emma.
Right,
Oh
exactly.
crap.
So, I
Oh
mean, but
boy.
we filtered it out, right? Because we do
Yeah,
the
of course.
right,
Yeah.
right checks and so on. My point is,
Jeez.
as a startup, you have to be cognizant that enterprises need this, like security.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We do what is called a penetration test every few weeks to make sure our platform is the most secure out there.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of investment in security, privacy. Anytime we have PII or PHI, personal information or personal health information, we remove that automatically before we talk to any LLM out there, right? So lots of safeguard, a complete governance layer that we had to build. So that's the first part of like
You're
crossing
safe,
that
safe, 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 safe,
safe
safe, safe.
and trust, right?
Yep. Yep.
The other big thing here is AI is unique in the sense that if you go to a calculator and multiply two numbers, you always get the same number. But if you go to an AI tool like Gemini or
Yeah.
Claude, ChatGPT, ask the same question every
Okay.
day, you may get different answers.
Oh, it's gonna. Yep. Yep.
So because that's how it kind of works, right?
Yes.
So,
Which is nauseating.
yeah, but for
Mm.
enterprises, look, accuracy is important. They're running mission critical operations for their clients, right?
Yeah.
It cannot be just like 80% accurate. It has to be, as accurate as the humans or more,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the
So far you've been saying, Surojit, like number one, when you're starting in the garage, literally with the two people, you, for example, how do you make it the most safe, 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 safe? Because of course, enterprises don't want to lose their hide on anything, nor does that
right,
employee in the cog of the machine want to put their butt on the line and get damaged from hiring on the little thing. That's, I mean, it is astounding to me, even in a sense, that startups get these big enterprise clients. Because I'm like, who are these wonderful souls that take the bet? Now, you, of course, have a lot of credibility in the space, thank God. But besides the safe, 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 what would you say number two, number three are?
yeah,
Because I want other AI
yeah.
startups thinking about like, how do I get that Fortune
I think
5000?
accuracy very important, right?
Yeah.
Trust and then accuracy. Can your AI actually perform accurately? I think the third
Yes.
third thing I'll say is getting your first client right is almost always a miracle in
Yes.
the enterprise.
Yes, it is.
Somebody
It is.
has to really put it out there, trust you first, real paying client, right?
Yes. That is not your brother-in-law. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
takes effort. You may have to do really prove it out there, do some work with them, give them some free stuff, then they trust you, and then they will sign a paid contract.
Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. So is that the unlock there? You said free stuff. Is that how you can win, would you say? Is that an effective strategy?
It kind of works both ways. So to be honest, in the sense, look, some enterprises will be like, hey, do a free POC for me. And then they are asking like 50 other startups to do POCs for them. And then they are just building it internally, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be careful, right? How free POCs you will do for how many clients, because sometimes you may keep doing these free POCs. In fact, what I do is I'm like, look, I'll do a POC, proof of concept for you, but you have to pay a small amount. It's nothing,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe $10,000, $20,000, $25,000, which is really tiny for a large conglomerate, right?
Yeah.
And if you sign the deal, I'll actually return the money back to you. But when you pay even $10,000, even $5,000, I know you will care. You will give me feedback. You will call and shout at me. In fact, I want that. The
Oh, Colin Chapman, this isn't working. Exactly. You want
the,
that.
the worst thing is clients just don't talk to you. They're like, oh, you're doing a POC on the side. I don't care. Do whatever, right? That's
Exactly. No
because you
feedback,
want
nothing.
feedback.
No, you want
Exactly,
all the
right?
juicy feedback.
So
Yeah.
if customer is not happy, that's not the bad thing. actually makes you stronger. If they pay a little bit, they will actually care. They skin in the game. And the biggest thing for any enterprise any enterprise in a startup, how do you get through the process? Every enterprise's procurement you're talking about,
I,
it's a complex process.
the irony is like you're helping to solve it, but you got to get in the
Right.
machine first.
Do you have to get in
But
the
you know what? But how cool, because then you see how messed up it is.
It is so messed up.
Oh,
They will send you questions with like,
the
10,000 questions.
PDF, yeah, with the
Yeah,
spreadsheet and the link that
go
doesn't
through the
work.
info seg, go through. I mean, look, there was a reason for putting all those processes. Maybe some of those reasons don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
The
17 years
processes
ago.
still exist. I have answered questions like, how do you take care of your floppy disk? Like, how do you destroy them? I'm like, how do I answer these questions?
Yeah.
Where is my floppy disk? I'm like, maybe I should just write, I'll bury them. I don't have floppy disks anymore.
Oh, that should be surgery. That should be the new thing. I buried him in the yard. I buried him.
I thought I'll just have fun. No, I didn't. But there are some really
Buried
funny
in the back.
questions like that you have to answer. I mean, I had to answer, oh, um,
Oh,
we have to make sure that your
oh,
team, your people doesn't come into our building and damage the building. I'm like, no. First
no.
of all, I'm there, right? And can you guarantee that they're not going to?
I am loving this combo so much because we're laughing at. I had to send a picture today and mark it NA because someone wanted to see the sign of our hours of operation. I'm like, there's no sign. It's a virtual team. There's no sign. Oh, we'll send it in with a blank photo.
Yeah,
So anyway,
yeah,
Sergey, all this to say, I would say where our conversation has taken us for today is how do you land that first enterprise client? You have to have safety, 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 safety. Then you have to have a beacon of someone in the system that is going to allow you to enter, but in a way where they're going to give you feedback and they're going to give you this little teeny tiny PO that you will even refund because the feedback you get is going to be magical. And then thirdly, I'd say for you all, the irony is then you see the mess and disarray that you're going to actually fix.
yeah. The product
That's awesome.
should work. So that's the other. That's the most important piece in all of this. Finally, does your product work, and does it create
Wow.
incredible amount of value?
Wow.
It's a
This
low.
is this is awesome. Well, Sergi, God, we didn't get into much else other because we were just talking about how this podcast should be note to producers, like how to land your first enterprise client as a startup that's in the AI space. Boom. That's what it's going to be called.
Yeah.
Okay. Sergi, is there anything just to end us, just to wrap us here, that you've changed your mind on recently? We have to have some philosophical question in here.
Anything that I've changed my mind on? It's a tricky question. I mean,
It
look,
is.
I think people is a good one, right?
Mm,
Because you have to understand in a startup, there are different people for different phases of startup.
very true.
You are growing very fast. Can your people grow as fast as the company is growing? By grow, I mean, can they take on more responsibility? Can be
Can
more
they absorb? Yeah.
mature? Right? Sometimes you'll see they can't, or sometimes
I
they,
know.
of course, many times they can, but sometimes they can't. Sometimes they don't want to. They're like, oh, I really like that 0 to 1. I don't want 1 to 10 or 10 to
They
100.
don't like, yeah, exactly. This is Sergi, what I love from the book Traction from Ginkgo Wickman of do they get it? Do they want it? Do they have capacity for it? You have to have the three because I could really get it, but I don't have capacity. I physically cannot do 14 hours a day. I
Right.
don't have the capacity. I'm not going to do it. So I want it, but capacity, it's not going to work. So yes, to your point.
Absolutely. So that's sometimes you have to change your
Mm,
mind on,
mm,
okay, you thought this was the best person for this
yeah,
role. 6 months
but in
later, maybe
yeah, in
not
fact, not.
anymore because the role has outgrown them.
Yeah. Mm, mm. Wise words. Surojit, thank you for being on for today. You are the founder and CEO of Emma, which actually, by the way, is an acronym. What
Yes.
is the, yes, it's not just like, oh, Emma, because we wanted to call it Emma. Wait, I had the website pulled up. Where did it go? Oh, geez.
Enterprise Machine Assistant.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go. I
Yes.
like it. I like when the name is also the further name, the acronym. Very good. Surojit, thank you so much for being on today. Pleasure. I'm glad we cried a little bit of
It was
laughter
fun.
with Enterprise. Get that Enterprise client, everybody. Have a good one, Surojit. See ya.
See you. Thanks.